These 10 fragrances right here on this table, in my opinion, are worth stocking up on. This, of course, is if you believe in backup bottles or not. Some people don't feel the need to own backup bottles of fragrances, and if that's you, then this won't apply to you. But if you're someone who does like to purchase backup bottles of fragrances that you're really passionate about, in my opinion, these 10 right here are highly worthy of it. I've got backup bottles of just about all of these here, and if I don't have them yet, I do plan on doing so in the future. A lot of these here are some top sellers, some really good fragrances, and so you may be wondering, well, why would you back up those? Who would discontinue them? The answer is, each and every one of these brands are notorious for discontinuing amazing fragrances. Enough said. So for me, I'm not comfortable taking that risk of potentially not being able to enjoy any of these fragrances anymore someday. So I am backing them up. Let's get some. First one, we have Spicebomb Extreme. Yeah, no joke. This fragrance here has also had its discontinuation rumors out there. And of course, a rumor is a rumor, right? It means nothing without any sort of concrete evidence. There's rumors about just about anything being discontinued. But when you hear that stuff circulate, it really does make you think a little bit. Let's be real. This brand, along with every other brand here in this video, does not care about what we think and what we like. The fragrance community, at the end of the day, makes up a very small subset of their market and who they're selling to. They care about pleasing the people out there in the real world, the people who are going into all of the department stores and buying these at full retail, the average consumers. That's who they care about pleasing. And if any of these fragrances were to start to fall off where it didn't make sense to keep them around from a monetary standpoint, they'll axe them without thinking twice. They don't care what we think. Now, Spicebomb Extreme does seem to be doing very well for itself, but you never know, man. Someday they could axe this one off just out of nowhere. So for me, this is one where I definitely feel better owning a couple bottles of, having a couple bottles on hand, because for me, this is truly one of the best winter designer fragrances. I love this stuff. If you're into tobacco, vanilla, spiciness, this is gonna be for you. And if you really like it a lot, consider saving up, grabbing another bottle to set aside for who knows what may happen. And I will also provide links to all these fragrances down below as well to discounters so you can pick them up at a price underneath retail. FragranceNet did take away their 37% off code like I thought they were going to, but I will link the 35% off code down below so you can hit through that link. Automatically applies to 35, so that'll get you currently now the best deal. Next up, we have L'Homme Ideal Eau de Parfum. So this one here is a really, really nice fragrance that does tend to go in and out of stock quite a bit. I believe there's also been discontinuation rumors on this one as well. Surprise, surprise. You know, for me, it's one that I have a backup for, not necessarily just because of discontinuation, but also if something were to happen where if I were to run through this, if I were to break the bottle, which does happen at some point in the future, obviously I have enough for right now, but in the future, it would be nice to have another bottle on hand ready to go for whenever I need it, even if it's still available, right? Maybe it hasn't been discontinued in the future, but it's out of stock. This one does go out of stock often, and it'll stay that way for a while. And also, the fragrance is just so good that I'm okay with paying that 70 bucks to have another one in my collection. You know, these all here are very special in their own way, and I think they're worth the investment. So this next one, we have Profondo, Aqua Profondo. So, of course, the Profumo thing has been going on. Who knows for sure what's going on there. It was on sale a whole bunch over Black Friday, Cyber Monday, like $50 for 2.5 ounce, half off basically. And they were trying to liquidate that. They were trying to get rid of that stuff, clear it out, and they sold a lot of it. So of course, you know, Profondo just came out. I'm not worried about this being discontinued anytime soon, but this was one of those fragrances that was so good when I first tried it that I immediately bought another bottle just because I wanted to have more of it. This is the first one that I got, this 4.2 ounce bottle. When I tried it, smelled it, and really started wearing it, I ended up buying the 200 ml. For me, it's nice security to have. I know that I have enough of this stuff on hand for anything. If I want to give some decants to friends, if you know someone wants to try it, if I want to lend a bottle of this to someone close to me so they can maybe test it and wear it, that sort of thing, I have another one with me that I can wear as well. You know, it's stuff like that where it is nice to have a couple. For me, this stuff is amazing in the summertime. Mineral notes, orange, sea notes, so unique. Such a different take on the aquatic genre that is definitely worth a backup for me. This next one, we have Bvlgari Man Extreme. Cactus, bergamot, and grapefruit are a couple of the notes here. Quite a different take on a fresh scent. It's from the Bvlgari Man line, obviously. One of the things about this one that makes it get some talk automatically is the cactus note. I don't know what cactus smells like, but I'll tell you, what I do get from this one is a very vibrant, very juicy, very refreshing bergamot grapefruit combination up top. You get that right away, right out of the gate, and it is very addicting. That will automatically hook you into this scent. You'll be obsessed. That is if you like citrus. Now, what's nice about this one is it's on the more affordable side, especially compared to the rest of the line. Bvlgari Man in Black is a bit more expensive usually. That one's just a bit more desirable overall. But this one, and some of the other fresher ones can be had for typically around $40 or so. Very good price. This is one that I like to apply and spray heavily in the summertime. And so, you could put a dent in this bottle quicker than you may expect. It really can go quick if you're applying it heavily and you're wearing it a lot. And so for me, it's nice to have another bottle around just in case. So this next one is a fragrance that I do fear may be discontinued someday. I'm not saying right now, I'm not saying soon. Who knows, maybe they never will. But looking at the history of some other fragrances in this line, it does make me nervous. From Dior, this one is Fahrenheit Parfum. So this has vanilla, it's got violet leaf, it has rum, it has suede. This is the Fahrenheit DNA with the boozy sweetness underneath. And it smells heavenly to die for. When you look at that note breakdown, it almost looks a little bit strange because you're comparing Fahrenheit with a bunch of sweetness and booziness, and a vanilla note. That sounds different, right? Just the two different characteristics here, but it really does work so well. They hit the nail on the head here. So look at Fahrenheit Aqua, look at Fahrenheit Absolute, look at Fahrenheit 32, look at basically all of the other Fahrenheits except for the original and now the Cologne. And this, they're gone. And again, Dior is especially another brand which does not even bat an eye based off of what we think. This is definitely a scent that's going to be more popular in the community. It doesn't really have the same outreach to the masses as the original and a lot of other fragrances from Dior. And so if it got to the point where they needed to cut this one off because it wasn't making sense out of any brand out there, brands like Dior are not going to even think twice about it. Can you imagine the amount of money Dior has? They're not going to hold on to something like this for this small group of people, us fragrance enthusiasts. Not going to happen. So for me, definitely one that I'm going to back up. It does come in these smaller size bottles. Luckily, you don't need a whole lot of this stuff. It a little goes a long way. It's a very strong scent. But this is so well done, so unique for me, that I feel great having another bottle in my collection ready to go, because you never know. And that's just the thing. You never know with any of these brands, with any of these rumors, nothing. So if it gives you peace of mind, something to look into. So this next one is a fragrance that I'm not so much worried about being discontinued. More so, it's just a fragrance that I think is so good that it's worth having around. This is another one where if someone personally in my life was looking to get into fragrances, I would give them decants of this. I would hand them my bottle and say, go wear this for a week. Let me know what you think, right? Just let them test it out. I have no problem doing that. And so for me, if I give someone my bottle, more likely than not, because I don't have it anymore, I'm going to want to wear it even more than usual. That's just kind of how psychology is for humans, it seems like. You want what you can't have. And because I lended my bottle, now I'll want it even more. But if I have two, it's not a big deal. That's Wanted by Night. This is a great beginner level scent, or, even for someone who isn't a beginner. For me, this is one that I love the smell of, and I have a lot of different things I can choose from. This one has orange, it's got fruity notes, tobacco, cinnamon, it's a warm, spicy scent. It is truly a nighttime version of the original Wanted. And this is also another one that doesn't come in at a whole lot of money either. Typically, you'll be looking at paying around 40 to 50 bucks. That's a great price. That is a whole lot of bang for your buck wrapped up into this stuff. I've got the 5-ounce bottle here. No worries about running out anytime soon. And I also don't feel as though we're in danger of this one being discontinued. But again, it's also nice just to have around for the reasons I mentioned a second ago. Want it by night. If you're someone who wears through this a lot, I would consider having another one on hand. It really might come in handy. So this next one is another fragrance, kind of like L'Homme Idéal Eau de Parfum, where it goes in and out of stock all the time, or at least it seems that way. The times where it's in stock, you're not thinking about it, just not on your radar. And the times that it goes out of stock, then you're like, oh, I should have picked that fragrance up because maybe you don't have it yet. Of course, that one is Rochas Moustache Eau de Parfum, vanilla, benzoin, pink pepper. It is a much more affordable take on Yves Saint Laurent Tuxedo, which is much more expensive, obviously. This is a really well done scent. One of the most unique men's designer fragrances out there, in my opinion. And I know it's a cologne. Maybe it's a bit ridiculous to call a cologne unique, but I'm speaking about the DNA. This DNA is magical. And yeah, like I just said, it goes out of stock all the time. It'll come back in, it'll sell out pretty quick because everyone signs up for like the email reminders for when it gets in stock. And so you really had to be watching for this one. So if you're someone who, uses this as your signature scent, you're someone who likes to wear it a lot, and you really have a passion for this fragrance, it may not be a bad idea to pick another one up when you have the option to. I know for me, this is one that I definitely want to get a backup bottle of at some point. I think as of right now, it is sold out, so I'm just putting this out there as a PSA for you. Make sure you stay diligent when looking for this stuff. So we're running down to the end. We've got Aqua Atlantique up next. So actually, funny story about this. I just bought another bottle this morning. I've already got a few backup bottles of it, but this is another one of those fragrances where I would be devastated if I couldn't wear it anymore. And, Bvlgari, also a very big fragrance brand, look what they did to Aqua Amara. Well, guess what? Aqua Amara was not having the reach outside of the community that Bvlgari was looking for their return, and so they chopped it off without thinking twice. No matter how many times Jeremy Fragrance made videos on that one, it still got discontinued. These brands don't care. And so Aqua Atlantique could also be one that could be subjected to getting chopped off. Now, what is nice about this one is it is a blue fragrance. It's going to fit into that Sauvage category, and there's no denying that fragrances like this do very well outside of the community. So it may be safe for now. For me, I'm not taking any chances. Also, this bottle is actually relatively full. There is a dent in it, though, if you can see it, but I have one that's even lower than this. I spray this stuff like water in the summertime. It's very strong, so I don't need a lot of it, but I still apply it heavily when I'm going out on the water, on the lake, just going out in the summertime, and I wear it a lot. So for me, it's valuable to have some on hand all the time. And again, if it was doomsday coming around and this was discontinued, I'm set up. And it's also worth noting that I just love that fragrance. I've made a lot of great memories with it. For me, it's one that really does hit home. For a lot of you guys, it may not be worth backing up if you're not into it. But for me, that stuff's my jam. Second to last fragrance, we have Low 2 Kenzo by Kenzo. Grapefruit, bitter orange, and spruce. So this is one of the better grapefruit opening fragrances on the designer side for men out there. I would say that this and Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Forever are probably two of the best designer grapefruit fragrances in my collection. Out of everything that I have on the designer side, this and Light Blue Forever, the best grapefruit opening. Absolutely stunning. It's juicy, it's vibrant, it's refreshing, it's bright, it's kind of effervescent, sparkling, very refreshing. Did I say refreshing already? One that will wake you up, one that puts you in an amazing mood. It doesn't work as well in the wintertime, right? I'm in a jacket, it's cold outside. It doesn't give me the same type of feeling as if I were to go outside in the morning when the sun's coming up, out there drinking my coffee, and I take this out there and I spray it up in the air. That hits home, and it really smells amazing. Great fragrance. If you're a citrus lover, you got to check this stuff out. Another one that's also relatively affordable, $30-ish when you can get it in stock. Definitely worth stocking up on if you like it. So this last fragrance is I guess, technically a discontinued fragrance, but it's been discontinued for so long that we kind of forget that it's even discontinued because it's still in stock everywhere for like 20 bucks from Montblanc. This one's Starwalker. So this is the bamboo, bergamot, orange, citrus, musk, woody fragrance for $20, basically next to nothing pricing here. And it is really, really nice stuff. Very fresh, very wearable, has this tropical Mediterranean type of smell, kind of like Versace Man Eau Fresh, the blue bottle. They're different, but they have a similar vibe going on. Maybe they smell a little bit similar too, but it smells so, so nice. You know, so wearable, just so fun and relaxing. Again, it's crazy to think that at some point this will no longer be $20 and available everywhere. If it is truly discontinued, it'll be $100+ on eBay someday. So for me, for $20, I have no problem grabbing a couple extra of these to have just in case at some point it really does go out of stock, which again, if it is truly discontinued, it will happen. Alrighty guys, there you have it. That is 10 fragrances that in my opinion are worth stocking up on. You know, again, everyone has a different thoughts on the whole backup bottle thing. For me, it's a no-brainer for scents that I love, and trust me, I've been in situations before where I haven't had backup bottles of some of my favorite fragrances, and I've been left wishing that I did. You can always sell your backup bottles if they aren't for you in the future anymore, but it's a lot easier to sell them than to buy them after it's already been discontinued and prices are $200+ on eBay. If you have the capital laying around to pick up backups of some of your favorites, in my opinion, it's always a smart move. And if they are discontinued or will become discontinued, it's not like you're going to be losing money. Again, I will provide links to all of these down below so you can pick them up for yourself. FragranceNet is going to be kind of the main place. And make sure you use that 35% off link for 35% off. Get the best deal you can. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.